Ni hao and hi everyone. It's Richard Taylor here with my good friends and colleagues Jules and Sam. We're at the Weta workshop in the boardroom, surrounded by some of the beautiful collectibles that we've been making for the last 25 years for the world of Middle-earth. It's been delightful getting a chance to read through the questions we've been sent by the Beijing Fan Convention, and I look forward to answering them along with Sam and Jules.
Yeah. Do you want to make an introduction of you, Jules?
Yeah. Ni hao. My name is Jules. I'm the creative director here. It's wonderful to have the opportunity to reach out to you guys. Thank you for appreciating the work we do, and it's just great to have fans like you appreciate our work.
大家好，我叫高霞，然后我是Weta工作室的高级创意总监，然后也是非常好跟大家一起分享今天的这次粉丝见面会。
We, of course, love making collectibles such as the ones that we do, but it wouldn't be possible if people didn't wish to have them in their homes. So people just like yourselves continuing to support us around the world means we continue to make these beautiful things for our various fans, friends and enthusiasts, and for ourselves, of course.
We basically want to freeze the moment from the film and to bring that to the people's table, right?
I always feel that a movie can have a quickly fading memory, right? Even if you love the movie, unless you go back and watch it again and again, it's the imagery fades from your mind a little bit. And I always think the fact that these type of beautiful statues can capture a quickly fading moment in a permanent way around you in your home or in your office. And I'm a massive collector myself. I've got over 200 collectibles in my office just through this wall because I love reliving that moment of joy and excitement that you felt in the cinema every time you look up at the collectible, and that's been a beautiful thing to be part of.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Like the emotional space that you inhabit when you first encounter these characters, that's what I feel like a collectible allows you to stay in that space for a longer period of time.
Yeah, certainly keep you really passionate about that. I relate. Yeah, Jules is basically only focused on the collectible category, and he contributes a lot of creative idea, a lot of art direction for this world.
One of the questions that you've asked is how do we actually choose, select, evoke within the collectible the essence of what we're trying to find from Tolkien's writings, from the beautiful films that Peter and Fran made, and from our own personal essence within these collectibles. And you know, it isn't a small thing. The very fact that you've asked the question means that you understand so significantly what we're trying to invest into these pieces. It's one thing to just replicate a character and a captured moment. It's another thing to try and invest the sense of being, of soul, of the actual scenario that the individual is in. You're trying to make it feel like there is an intelligence in the mind of the character in front of you. They're thinking, they're processing, they're determining, and then create a sense of place with the environment. In this case, this isn't cloth blowing in the wind. This is cloth that is roiling due to the heat that's coming through the cracks from the lava. So by the very performance of the fabric, it tells you the sense of place that this character is in. And in the case of Sauron, of course, you're trying to create a very powerful sort of warlord-like presence, and that's all been imbued into the sculpture.
Yeah, I guess one thing is quite important is when I was sculpt some figures for the Lottery Collectible. I think one of the really important brief for all of the artists who look after the collectible is we not only sculpting the character, the detail, the texture, all of the beautiful things, we also sculpting time inside the collectible. So you have a moment that into the steel statue. That's one of very big standard we choose what we sculpt.
And the intent, for me, like a really great collectible, the intent is right there on the surface. What is that character trying to achieve, or what are they thinking in that moment in time?
And it doesn't require high action, right? You don't give them a sense of being and put them in a place. by necessarily wielding a sword violently or yelling loudly. Just imbuing them with the sense of being can elevate them into the special place and make them feel like they are on a journey. You're not just creating a locked position, you're on a journey from A to Z, and we just happen to have intercepted at M or Q or B. It's just the point of storytelling that we want to find.
Yeah, I think many fans want to ask about in the Lord of the Rings film, we designed and made a lot of armor, weapon, prosthetic creatures, etc., etc. I think we made 48,000 different items, right, into the film. And they ask about what you feel is the most appreciated item, or which is most shame item didn't exist or present to the cinema enough.
Oh boy, it's like choosing your favorite child, isn't it? When
4,008.
I've got one.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
For me, he did make it into the extended editions, but the mouth of Sauron I thought was a beautiful design, and I love a slimy, dirty politician, you know. And to me, he was so representational of Mordor. And the fact that you, Sam, actually got to sculpt one a few years ago.
Yeah, very lucky.
There's a good thing. Where's that one in the
Here. And like I have that in my collection.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I was so happy, A, that you got to sculpt him, and B, he made it into the extended editions. But for me, he's a standout piece of design and character and storytelling.
I remember when I just sculpting that, the decision, at the first decision is he just stand alone without a horse. Because we think maybe the fans cannot afford it. It's not very important character. But Richard make decision, we need a horse.
We need the horse.
Yeah,
horse.
and the people love it.
Yeah.
This is actually a great example, right? Why was I so insistent that we needed the horse? Because the horse is a tortured creature, which suggests that its owner, the man on its back, has thought little for the horse's well-being, which suggests, of course...
I appreciate that, because that's why
You sure did.
I sculpting the horse, not going forward, it's actually leaning
Going
back.
backwards.
Yeah.
Pulling away from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That horse's face, the portrait of the horse that you sculpted, Sam, is one of my favourite pieces of sculpture in our
thank
collectibles history. It is a tortured, sad animal, desperate animal. It's
I remember
beautiful.
us talking about just getting the right amount of white in the eye and the way that the lips of a horse. That's
right.
Lottie, by the way. That's my. I'm sure she'll be back at some point. She loves Sam. I get jealous because she loves Sam. It is every single new collectible is deep conversation, debate, never argument, but we eventually get to a place that we feel we can commit to a locked off design.
Yeah, it's certainly none of them are taken lightly. We love them like you guys do, so that none of the decision making is taken lightly. They're pained over, and the want on our part to show the justice to these characters that are so beloved weighs on our shoulders at times.
Yeah.
So
we don't always get it right. We realise that we get feedback from the fans who feel that we didn't quite find the moment, we didn't quite find the right action, or they're too action filled, or not filled enough with action, and etc. etc. And we listen to this. We don't take it lightly.
I think this is a good example.
Yeah, this is a great example.
People see the small scale miniature of the back end, and then they say, we want to see inside of that.
Yeah, exactly. There, this came about because of feedback. People loved our back end collectible of the exterior, but we wanted to fulfill that desire to see the interior of the world of Bilbo and his book writing and his little study.
And you can see how Jules really great to direct hide so many small details.
Yeah, the
details everywhere.
Yeah,
actually, the snails.
There's a snail.
Yeah.
To show you something I loved doing when we very first made this collectible, and we had it out on the picnic table at the back of our workshop, and it was very exciting. for all of us, but I got Lottie, and I put Lottie over the top.
Creature.
This giant creature looking. What's down here, Lottie? What's over here? And Lottie walked around it and looked like she was a giant creature. I got some great photography of her enjoying being the monster in this world.
Yeah.
It's a Balrog. Bulldog.
Yeah, I think one question is very particular for you, Jules. It's many, fans in China, they get the inspiration from the Weta Workshop's work, the Tolkien's book, and so they start to DIY, do something by themselves. So what do you have any suggestion for those creators or the beginners?
Sure. I've always seen, I've followed on from all the work that Richard and Tanya and the team that came before me, but I see Middle-earth as a history. It's not, yes, there are fantastical elements in it, but I see it as an alternative history. So the clothes, the architecture, the weapons, even the creatures all have an anatomical reality to them. It's a very grounded universe. So anything you would try and make from Middle-earth, my suggestion would be to ground it in reality and think about it. It's a real object or it's a real creature. It has a history. If it's if orcs eat meat, they probably have sharp teeth. If it's a Rohan sword, it's almost certainly a couple of 100 years old. If it's a Mordor weapon, it could be hundreds of years old.
Beautiful.
So for me, that's it. And that's one of the reasons I navigated to Weta Workshop in the first place, is because that interpretation doesn't come from me. I'm following in footsteps.
I think what you say, just like first time I watched the film when I was 13 years years old, I will believe there's a real world behind there, just somewhere. Yeah.
And a much simpler answer though, don't give up. We all have massive images in our head. We suffer it. I certainly do, where I want to do something so spectacular and fall well short of it, of my own expectation. And I'm like, do I really want to give it another go? The trick is to just keep going back at it, because of course through experience you learn technique and you grow better and better. And never consider that anything is a failure. It's a great stepping stone towards a success.
That's right.
And just the act of doing it can bring so much joy, so much pleasure, and the sense that you're off your iPad or your iPhone actually making and creating something with your hands.
Yeah, I guess when I watched the film, I never able imagine can join you guys and working together, right? But that's happened. So just keep doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
think never give up, like Richard said.
Yeah, it's a great question maybe for you, for everyone, about if Tolkien's still alive, what do you want to say to him?
Well, the obvious one is thank you. He has given me half of my life career. He has provided for me a wealth of fantastical, imagination-inspiring journeys across the world of Middle-earth that had he not chosen to write these books, our lives would be that much more hollow. And I would love to, I feel very strongly, and I've thought about this a lot over the years, that should Tolkien actually be able to visit our workshop, he would respect and appreciate the efforts and the energy given by so many. I think he would have loved Peter's films. I think he was so open himself to others embracing the worlds that he created, that he in turn would have appreciated what's been done here in New Zealand through the making of these movies.
I certainly can see it's a lot of love there, is because 2 years ago we're making our own game based on the Middle Earth, and we didn't choose the fighting violent.
No,
we choose a love, like this collectible, right?
Little cozy experience.
Like you put yourself into the Hobbit and visiting Shire, living there, grow the vegetables, and cooking with your friend. That's exactly how you feel. You are living there.
No, the utopian dream. I think we all secretly really would love to be hobbits, right? And he gave us that.
Yeah, I think another question will be, who is your favorite character? You already say the Mouth of Sauron.
From aesthetically, the Mouth of Sauron. God, Grima Wormtongue too. I'm attracted to the slimy manipulators.
obviously are.
Yeah, I love Lurs.
And
actually.
Sam and
Let's-
Richard moved away from the table. Yeah.
I love Lurs. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, I'm really lucky I sculpted the Mouth of Sauron and Lurs, because Lurs actually make me believe everyone can die in the world. He killed Boromir. I was shocked me, the hero never die. It's basically the rule for the film you watched when you was young, but he killed Boromir. And very quickly, Gandalf just, don't know
gone.
what happened.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is when I watch it, it's like a fake DVD. And we don't even have a... I was young. I don't even
I was young. As if that's an excuse.
I wasn't even
We've all
know.
done it, Sam. Yeah.
I don't even know they have a second or third film. I was so
Really?
sad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even know it.
Oh,
I
little
just
Gandalf.
watched Boromir and just on the boat and
Yeah.
just flow away. And I think Lurs just shocked me away that time. Yeah.
I share Sam's decision. I've always said it from the first time I was asked this question. Lawrence Mokore's role as Lurtz, half because of the actor within the character and half because of the character that we all created. To me, he portrays everything that is frightening and everything that can bring harm, and he then brings harm to one of our heroes, and he tears our heart out by his action, and it is so malicious.
Yeah.
And it is so uncaring,
brutal,
and it is so brutal. That character has been so perfectly rendered by the filmmaker into this world.
Yeah.
I love the line too, at the end when Aragorn is crowned king, and that the hobbits bow down to him, and he delivers the simple line, "You bow to no man." But his delivery is so empathetic, and that for me, that the whole journey is recognised in that one line, and that the fact that the king is giving it to the hobbits, that always makes me tear up a little bit. Like
I know, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful,
Yeah.
and it's one of my favourite moments in the film.
I think
trilogy.
in that moment, the faces of the extras as well, like everyone in that moment captured the moment.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone, all the other actors just give you a sense of that all of the world has rested its weight on the shoulders of
Of the
those
hobbits.
four characters,
Yeah.
and they have saved us.
Yeah, and it's in that moment where I feel that's when the weight lifts finally. There's an emancipation from the travels and the strife they've been through in that moment.
Yeah, actually, there have so many charming characters. Like I love Sam as well. That's why I choose the name of Sam, basically. But actually, there have a very beautiful story about
my
a
son,
role.
as you know, my son is named
Exactly.
the same. Yeah.
The beautiful story you shared with me about a normal Rohan writer, how you can speak the story, how you dress up her, and her horse get lost, right?
Well, that was my favourite story from the experience of working on Middle Earth.
No-name character,
Is it?
actually.
No, she was an extra, an older woman, probably about the age I am today, like in her late 50s. It was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We were starting to dress the Rohan for the giant charge across the Pelennor fields. And I was on my knees putting the van braces and the leg guards onto the actors. And I was trying to make conversation. We're all very tired. And I look up and this woman's standing there. And I said to her, "Oh, you're riding your own horse today?" And she goes, "Oh, no, unfortunately the horse
Into the rabbit hole,
fell
right?
into a rabbit hole and managed to hurt itself yesterday." I said, "Oh, so you're borrowing a horse?" And she goes, "Nah, mate." And this is so New Zealand, right? She goes, "No, I hitched me a ride." I can't remember the exact words today, but I hitched me a ride a few K up the road. I managed to rope myself a horse, broke it, rode it back, bareback,
Whoa.
and I'm riding that today. It was obviously a semi-domesticated horse because you couldn't. I don't think you could break in a wild horse overnight. But she had roped a horse and ridden it back.
The real soldier from
And to
Moab.
me, and what a soldier from. And I was like, and that was it. And then she moved on to the next person that was putting the chest plate and the hair and the hat on and the helmet on. It stayed with me as that's the very essence of the energy it took to make these movies.
Yeah.
People that would really just go to any length to guarantee that the shot was achieved, that they're in the film, that something special is going to happen.
I think I love this story, especially about we love the characters in the film, but actually the whole team, whole film crew is actually exactly just like this journey.
Yeah.
Carry the mission and finish the mission.
A movie that was made by a population of a country.
Yeah.
Right? It's just really beautiful.
Yeah. I think the final question will be what we want to see for the Beijing Little Earth Fun Convention.
Yeah, well, look, from me personally, I've met many of you over the years. You've kindly hosted me in Beijing. You've come to the premieres. Many of you have sent me or gifted me the most beautiful of presents. We have them hanging around the walls here. Some of you have actually come and visited us, which is really lovely. And of course, the invitation stays open. Should any of you ever get to New Zealand, always know that you've got a warm welcome here at the Weta Workshop. We'd love to see you. But from me, I just send my most gracious appreciation and thanks to you all for your ongoing and unfaltering support of what we're trying to do to keep this world alive from our small place in the world. Continue to make beautiful sculpture for people that wish to collect it around the world. And the fact that, from China to New Zealand, we sort of have this wonderful cultural connection in our love of making, creating Middle Earth and everything that's special in the fan group that we all enjoy.
Yeah, do you want to say something?
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for your continued support. I hope you're all having a wonderful time over there. We're very, very grateful for people like you who continue to support us, like Richard said. We try very hard. It's dear to us like we know it's dear to you. So please keep enjoying the work. I hope we keep producing work to your standards. And thank you again very much.
那我就用中文说吧。非常感谢给我们这样的一个机会。虽然我们都在新西兰，但是我觉得心肯定还是连在一起的。希望大家有空来新西兰，来我们这边玩。然后希望这次大会举办成功。谢谢。
谢谢。
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.